On Alex, then to opposition parties in Europe.
People will perhaps be aware of the Forum for Democracy in the Netherlands. Thierry Baudet is the party leader. They actually have quite a strong English-speaking and international arm to them now, and they have a strong showing in the Dutch Parliament. It's John Lochland, the Paris-based geopolitical commentator, who heads up FVD International. Here, they have a video, which, if you find the link from show notes, you can also turn on the subtitles using that cogwheel and subtitle button next to the cogwheel. You can get it auto-translated English to find out what's going on here. The party leader, Baudet, and Mr. Bosma of his party are having a hearing at a committee stage. So it's between inter-party, but they're challenging the Minister of the Interior and Kingdom Relations in the Netherlands for suggesting that there are threats to democracy which may be so far-reaching that in Baudet's interpretation, the FVD, the Forum for Democracy, might end up getting banned. So that's worth watching. The Telegraaf, a popular or populist tabloid, we can call it, reports that FVD is keen to raise this issue with other parties because a cabal, what the FVD themselves would call the cartel of parties, has formed. These experts of 12 experts who are at the initiative of party leaders in Parliament have been called to discuss threats to democracy. And there are quotations here, like the one on screen, which show that some of the party leaders have decided to take this opportunity to say that the FED just doesn't pass muster, isn't worth it, is a hard idiom to translate, is morally insufficient, is the suggestion of this idiom. So one of the party leaders in Parliament is telling the Telegraph directly, we are out to ban the FVD, because they say that the FVD is undermining our democracy and causing alarm. What else is going on here? In Germany, you have to look very hard to see what all the fuss is about here, but this is the outcome of the most recent elections for district-level public authorities known as Landsrat in Germany. If you look in the middle of Germany, you will see one paler blue blotch just north of all the Bavarian darker blue CSU-controlled Landsrats. There's one just inside Thuringia, which is now has an elected Landsrat belonging to the Alternative für Deutschland party, the rough equivalent of the FPD in the Netherlands. This caused a real stink, as you can imagine. So T-Online, a news amassing service read by millions of Germans because it's on the back of an old telecom monopoly, is reporting that the gentleman in question, Mr. Sesselman, a softly spoken employment lawyer with plump cheeks here, is a great threat to democracy. So they're checking his validity. They have this wonderful German phrase, Eignungsprüfung auf Verfassungstreue, meaning scrutinizing for loyalty to the Constitution, which was initiated a few weeks ago. I don't have any updates on it, but at province level, at Bundesland level, the same state, Thuringia, was going to have an AfD man chairing the parliament there, the land parliament. And Angela Merkel, when she was still chancellor, told them straight out, you will rerun this vote, the wrong man has been elected. So that's still going on. And this Eignungsprüfung is only meant to allow the insane to be excluded from office. So there's the real worries going on there amongst the Germans, for the mainstream anyway, about the rise of parliamentary representation by those who are not signed up to the cartel view, shall we say. Red Pill Germany has done a good coverage of this from a few weeks ago, which will be linked in the show notes. Good English language summary. And finally on this, Remix is reporting, which often has accurate coverage from the hard right, but accurate on what's going on here. So there has been an admission openly on Twitter by an activist that in order to defeat the AfD as it finds more elected representation like its first elected Landsrat now, Germany must bring in more migrants and immediately give them the franchise. This has been claimed by the founder of a migrant rescue boat non-governmental organization. There he is, Mr. Axel Steyer, who says that if we had had enough import of people from abroad, including by removing the visa requirement for Afghans so they can just fly from Kabul and become Germans, and if we had immediately enfranchised all these new Germans, Herr Sonneberg would not have been an issue today. So let's open the borders. Pretty clear what's going on.